Is it just bamboo shoots?
It's bamboo shoots.
That's it.
It's just bamboo. I cut it up a little bit. Correct.
Did you do anything to it?
I cut it up.
So I'm gonna eat bamboo shoots like a koala.
It's not the leaves. It's like the little bit. You know how you eat ferns?
Don't they say like koalas like can starve because they can eat so many bamboo shoots, but they don't get the nutrition from them?
Where do koalas live?
Sorry.
I think you might be confusing the animals. There you go.
Pandas.
I don't know enough about pandas. They were kind of rare in San Diego, so they weren't really animals that I was encountering.
What do koalas eat?
Koalas eat eucalyptus. I'm gonna have to do some heavy editing.
Food is arguably the most important resource in Age of Empires 2, but all we see in game is just a single set of numbers. Throughout the series, we will be diving in to see exactly what foods each civilization prepared and ate, and how well I can recreate these recipes. This is Meals of Empires. The main focus for today is going to be the rice and rice noodles. That's the main dish that you have in front of you. And then you kind of collect from a few different dishes. So we're going to have a GoPro coming down from the top while we do the taste testing, so you can see what exactly we're going to be tasting. Because I think by the time we're end, if I counted correctly, we're going to have 11 different dishes, including the rice. So quite the feast we're going to have going on here. And then the dish that I'm going to be starting with is Burmese tofu, which is made with chickpeas instead of soybeans. So here is our farine de pois chiche, flour of chickpeas. Chickpea flour, there it is. So we're going to be doing 1 cup of chickpea flour and 1 cup of water for now, so equal amount. To that, we're going to be adding a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of turmeric. All right, just mix that all together. We're trying to get a nice, even consistency. While we're mixing the consistency in the bowl to an even mixture, we're going to be heating up the other 1 cup of water until it begins to boil. Effectively, what we're doing is we're making the tofu mixture here, and the water is going to be boiling the flour so it gets cooked, kind of loses that raw chickpea flavor, so we're just kind of left with the nuttiness of the chickpea instead of the sour and bitterness of the chickpea. Our water is boiling, so I can add the mixture in, and then I'm going to continue to stir it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And there's my spatula. Boom. And you can see it's already kind of clumping up a little bit, which is what we want to avoid. We want to keep stirring so that doesn't happen. So you can see it's solidifying slowly, bit by bit. And we can kind of decide what point we want to call it quits and put it into a mold. The mold is just going to be a glass jar that we'll put in the fridge for an hour, and then it'll be set. The quickest tofu you could ever imagine. And this still has a nice liquid consistency, so it's easy for it to spill into the glass dish. And we're just going to smooth over the top. The Manipuri people were often fighting the empires that were in modern-day Burma. So the cuisine and the civilization in Age of Empires doesn't necessarily follow specific empires. It's more of the region, which works well for cuisine, because cuisine's oftentimes not following distinct empires, but more geographic boundaries and following what ingredients were available in the area. So the ingredient that we are going to be using is wax gourd. It is absolutely massive. Here is the wax gourd in relation to a cucumber. This is you, and this is the person your girlfriend tells you not to worry about. Massive. Bottle gourd is the member of the cucumber family that would be more readily available in the region and used in ingredients. This would be more used in like Thailand and Vietnam, but this is what was available at my local Asian grocer. So this is what we're using for the recipe. And I think I'm just using half. This is 1.5 kilograms, so 3 pounds. And I think I'm just going to use 1.5 pounds, so about half of this. Cool that down a bit. Not ideal that I have that smoking. We'll do four garlic cloves to go along with the onions. I'm going to leave the garlic out because we're going to be coming back to it later for some of the sides. But let's get the curry started. It'll take about 20 to 30 minutes once I get all the ingredients in there to fully come to fruition as a finished curry. Ooh, how much ginger do I want to use? I always say a finger of ginger. We'll call that a finger for today. That smells fantastic. Really smell the garlic. Ginger will stay out for now as well. So turmeric, or in Dutch kurkuma, and coriander were probably the first spices that were readily available, at least like what we're used to in terms of Indian cuisine. And then cumin and cardamom would have come a little bit later, though I'm not sure if it would have arrived during the cutoff. I am going to follow my advice and take that off just by slicing it a bit. So we're going to dice this into cubes that are easily manageable on your spoon. And we're going to cook this with some coconut milk. Ooh, the peppercorns. I almost forgot the peppercorns. The green peppercorns are the immature fruit of what you're used to having in a pepper mill. So the immature fruit that are in this pepper mill are what you see here. And they have like a little bit of a fruity flavor along with them. I'm gonna pop one in my mouth. And they have a crunch to them, but they are still quite spicy. But I would consider these the precursor to capsicum peppers that arrived from South America later on. I think replaced these peppers in cuisine because they last a little bit longer than these guys do. These guys have to be refrigerated almost instantly to keep them from continually ripening. That should be plenty of flavoring in our curry. Now we'll just add the coconut milk. All of it's going to go in. And if I need any more liquid to cover everything, I'll put some more water. And it's just going to reduce anyways, so it's not a concern. All right, next trivia question. Which leaf is the main ingredient in the iconic Burmese dish called lapet? Is it a curry leaf, a bamboo leaf, a tea leaf, or a citrus leaf? So for rice noodles, you want to soak them in cold water ahead of time so they become malleable. You can kind of move them around as needed once you try to get them in the pot. So we soak the rice noodles. Now it's time to saute all the sides. So let me cut them up again. Here are shallots. They look like tiny little onions, or a mix between an onion and garlic. The idea behind these is they're just going to be like little bits of treats that you can just put on any of the other dishes. A lot of Burmese foods, just layering. You just add a sauce, add some peanuts, add some pepper, add some chili flakes. Of course, peanut and chili flakes aren't accessible to them during this time period, but I think the same like traditions would have stayed around. So for our boiling veggies, we have a cucumber, a carrot, and some snap peas, sugar snaps. There's a few different species that have a slightly different taste. All right, there's the garlic. Last item to fry is our ginger. And I'll take off the hard bits on the end. That one just doesn't look good. And these guys are ready to go in the pot. So yeah, we have the curry that's just about done. The tofu in the fridge should be set. The cats should just about be fed. To our boiled vegetables, we're going to be adding a tablespoon of salt. And we could add a little bit of sugar, but I think the salt will do the trick. All right, so for the papaya salad, we just want to peel enough papaya so we can get at it. The more we peel, the faster it'll go bad in the fridge. It'll keep ripening, I guess, is the better way of saying it. So we're just going to peel enough to get at the flesh. The best way for me to do this is to put it down on the cutting board. Just peel a bit away with my knife. So we're just going to make slivers down the length of this. I'm trying to make them fairly close together as well as I can with this unprecise action without cutting myself. In goes our papaya salad. We'll make the sauce, but we won't add it immediately. A little bit for the chef. I can't remember the last time I've had a mango that this was this perfect. Let's fry the tofu while we're waiting for the veggies to finish so I can put the rice in there. Here is our Burmese tofu, well set. I'm going to give it a little taste test to see how we did. See if it's changed any from the batch that I made earlier in the week. It's a bit softer than what I made earlier in the week, but you can see that's the cross section. So we have a little bubble there, other side, a little bubbly, a little spongy. A little taste test. It's so good. I have to be careful not to hurt myself because these guys do have a decent amount of water moisture, which means they'll be spitting everywhere. I do need more oil. Oh, yeah, this middle one's doing okay. Okay, we might get one that comes out real nice. There's the browning that we wanted. That looks nice. There we go, this guy. Oh, he just has a skin. I don't know if that was his neighbor's skin. I don't know if that still counts. Burmese rice is very glutinous, but it's not necessarily flavored. It's just left plain, and all the other dishes you combine with it provide all the flavors.
Unfortunately, my microphone died at this point in the stream, so we're going to speedrun and cast the last portion of the cooking, and we will catch back up with Chef Colin when we get to the tasting and the reviews. Here I'm adding a 2-to-1 ratio of water to the glutinous rice. The rice noodles have been soaked and are now left unceremoniously on the cutting board until I find a bowl to put them in or am ready to cook them. The coconut meal was much more crumbly than I expected. It turned into little granules. Once fried, the flavors were very muted. If I were to make it again, I would have just added a bit of salt and jaggery to bring out more flavor. Next up is the sauce for the papaya salad. The sauce consists of tamarind, jaggery, and lime, which gives some sweet and sour along with the acidity of the lime. We are going to remake the first step of the Burmese tofu, combining 2 cups of water to 1 cup of chickpea flour with turmeric and salt to taste. This is the principal component to the Burmese dish tofu nue, but instead of letting the tofu set after cooking, it will be left in a saucy consistency that we could pour over noodles. In review, a 3-to-1 ratio of water to flour would have been ideal. Once the tofu nue is nearly cooked, the rice noodles are added to the boiling water to cook for just a few minutes. And the last item to prepare are the bamboo shoots. These shoots are pre-sliced and stored in a briny water. They have a slight umami flavor like mushrooms. I will cut them up into slightly smaller pieces to make them easier to eat with our hands. Let's plate the rice and noodles and go back to Chef Colin for an explanation on how to eat this feast.
Burmese food is typically eaten by taking a spoon and just serving whatever you want on the rice. Probably with your left hand, because your right hand will generally be pretty full of rice.
Is that nuts?
This was just garlic, so I'm eating rice and garlic right now.
Okay.
Not ideal, but just for demonstration purposes. And then to your mouth. And then back into the plate to mix it all together. And that was quite good. So maybe I'll try, for the next bite, some ginger and shallots. And I'll just mix that up with my hands. And you do have to watch out because not everything here is at a temperature where it's easy to move it around with your hands. So if you're ready, I'm going to go through all the ingredients here
ready.
one by one and explain what we have. Mangoes, just diced.
There's nothing else on them.
Nothing else on them. That's like a sweet treat if you had something spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly ripe. Excellent. We have garlic, we have shallots, and we have ginger. This is chom-phet, I believe it's called. It's just boiled veggies. It's Manipuri. At least that's where I found an example of it, was in Manipuri cuisine. And that's like a little palate cleanser if you eat something too spicy. Coconut meal that was fried. The Burmese tofu that was set but not fried. The Burmese tofu that was fried. You just tried the plantain.
Plantain.
How was that?
It's good.
I'm seeing you're going for the sweet stuff first.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. This is papaya salad, but it's green papaya. So it's not like a ripe papaya.
So it's like bitter?
It's not
and
bitter.
Crunchy.
It's a bit crunchy.
Bitter and crunchy.
I would consider it like an apple that has no flavor.
So why am I eating it?
You add sauce to it to add the flavor.
So what's the sauce?
Sauce is tamarind, lime, and jaggery. So it's a little bit sweet.
Yeah. You should put that on a salad.
This is a papaya salad, so I would consider that on a salad. Okay, moving on. Bamboo shoots. Is this outside of your tolerance to try?
It's just bamboo shoots.
It's bamboo shoots.
That's it.
It's just bamboo shoots. I cut it up a little bit, correct.
Did you do anything to it?
I cut it up.
Why did you make me eat this?
And now is your opportunity to eat something else here that'll be a palate cleanser. Or you can go to the sink.
Okay. Mango?
Mango palate cleanser. Lovely.
That bamboo is great.
Then we have the curry and the chom-phet I already mentioned.
You mean the raw omelet?
The raw omelet is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
This is the tofu that's just still in sauce form. We haven't let it set, so it can be used as a sauce on the noodles.
Oh.
So let me demonstrate with the noodles. You would just, hopefully they wouldn't be this stuck together because they still be in liquid if I had the proper utensils. But I heard you like rice, so I put rice noodles on some rice. And I'm going to take a little bit of our sauce that is already setting because we've spent so much time discussing everything. And I kind of let it go a little bit harder than it's supposed to. And then you just kind of mush it together with your fingers to get the perfect bite. Oh, fantastic. Terrific. I'll just edit out all the rest of that.
This smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for real.
So is that the fried or the unfried?
This is fried.
Okay, so you're trying the fried.
Can't you tell?
It's not as fried as some of the pieces, but yeah, I see it.
Okay. Wait, am I actually gonna like this or not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
How would you describe it? Is it kind of cheesy? You taste the turmeric, right? I think that comes through. I guess you don't necessarily know what,
I don't really know what turmeric
what is the flavor of turmeric. Usually you just see it. But I think the turmeric really comes through.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know why that's good. Because it looked disgusting when you made it the first time.
This is going to look ridiculous, but we have no more bowls to try out the curry. So I'm just going to ladle it.
I keep eating it.
So it must be
That is
good.
really
Okay.
The coconut.
Yeah, the coconut's solid. It's the first sieve that we've gotten to that had coconut. I guess we had a little bit of coconut oil. I'm gonna use another mug to dip into this chom-phet. A little bit sweet from the carrots. And I've never had cucumbers boiled before, which feels just weird to do it. But the cucumbers add almost like a pickle taste to it. Yeah, so you need to give me an execution rating, and then a should you serve this to your girlfriend rating. Which might come down to how much do you enjoy the choose your own adventure eating style. So if I got a point for each one, I'd get a perfect 10.
Yes, theoretically. Okay, so then you lose points here. I don't even know what to think about this, because this is just, why would you boil vegetable? I mean,
this is historically accurate. I didn't make you try it, so I don't think you can hold it against me.
Right. It is historically accurate. So if I take off like a half point here and a half point here and a whole point here because it's disgusting. And like, I don't even know.
Is that another half point for the coconut?
Yeah, so maybe like we take off 2 points. Like overall, I feel like you did pretty well.
Okay, so an 8?
Like an 8.
On execution?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty good. I mean, you obviously did your research. You did your research. You looked at how Burmese cuisine is even eaten.
And then if you want to use the same kind of format on should you serve this to your girlfriend, how many of these things do you think you'd want to eat?
Okay, out of the 10, how many would I eat?
Yeah.
But the tofu is very good. I'm very surprised that I like the tofu. I can just add salt to that and make it palatable. This, I wish I weren't afraid of eating it. You did pretty good on the execution of this meal. But I'm also very picky about what I eat. So if I'm like all girlfriends.
Yes, you are in this case. You're my only girlfriend.
Assuming all girlfriends are very picky.
Yeah.
Then it's a 7.
Okay.
I would definitely eat 70% of this meal.
Okay, solid. All right, so now I get to eat some of this and then be full and then figure out all the containers that this is all going to go into. Next week is the Saracens, and I get to make hummus. You guys don't realize how much I love hummus.
I think they probably do.
No. What would be the market abuse? Market abuse for the Saracens would just be I buy everything pre-made. I could buy some pre-made hummus and we could compare. I actually have made hummus review videos where I've tried hummus and compared them against each other in the past, but none of them have ever been published because it's too embarrassing to do so.